Grand Line, a sea of dreams and nightmares where the Straw Hat Pirates chase their destinies. Led by Monkey D. Luffy, they faced monsters and tyrants, their bond unbreakable. Today, Usopp's courage will be tested as a cosmic storm brews on the horizon. The sea held its breath as the sky twisted into unknown shapes.
I've never seen anything like it. The sky, it's splitting apart.
Whoa, do you think it's an island, Nami? A blinding light erupted, bathing the Thousand Sunny in an ethereal glow. As the light subsided, a small figure materialized.
Hiya everyone, my name is Zeno and I'm the king of everything.
The king of everything? What are you doing here? And what do you want with us?
I'm here to make you stronger, Usopp.
The air buzzed with Zeno's proclamation.
Usopp, you have untapped power waiting to be unleashed.
Me? But I'm just Usopp.
Nonsense! You face giants and monsters. You have the heart of a warrior.
The chosen one?
Luffy has his own destiny. Your journey, Usopp, is different. Train with me and unlock your true power.
Usopp hesitated, but a flicker of ambition called him towards a destiny he never imagined.
Could I truly become something greater?
The world dissolved into a kaleidoscope of colors.
Where are we?
Welcome to my training grounds, a place where time and space hold no meaning.
Usopp nodded hesitantly.
The power you seek is already within you, waiting to be awakened.
Usopp felt a strange tingling sensation, a sense of untapped power.
I'll guide you to unlock your true potential.
First lesson, feeling the shot.
Forget everything you know about sniping. Trust your instincts.
Feel the shot? What are you talking about, Zeno?
The best snipers feel the target, becoming one with the shot.
A blindfolded challenge.
Now what?
Unlock your true potential. See with instinct, not sight.
You want me to hit a target? Blindfolded? That's insane.
Trusting the impossible.
Don't think, feel, let your instincts take over.
Usopp extended Kabuto, guided by a newfound sense.
The target is still there. Can you sense it?
The sniper's sixth sense?
Yes, Usopp, feel the target's energy.
Usopp drew back Kabuto's sling, guided by an invisible thread.
Trust in this sniper's sixth sense.
Beyond ordinary sight, Usopp released the shot, the pellet flying with a graceful arc. The air crackled as the pellet flew, guided by more than just aim.
Bullseye, you did it, Usopp.
How did I do that?
You trusted your instincts and overcame your fears.
Usopp stared at the shattered target, a slow grin spreading across his face. He was ready to face the world with newfound confidence. The landscape shifted to a godly training ground.
Whoa, what is this place?
A sniper's paradise, designed to push you beyond your limits.
Usopp faced challenges that would hone his instincts and unlock his full potential.
All right, Usopp, let's start with something simple, shall we?
Simple? Zeno, nothing about this place screams simple.
Usopp, despite his growing apprehension, couldn't help but scoff. Zeno, ignoring Usopp's protest, pointed towards a distant target. It resembled a glowing orb, but it moved with such incredible speed that it appeared as a blur, a streak of light dancing across the training ground, leaving a trail of shimmering afterimages in its wake.
Hit that!
Usopp took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. This was unlike anything he had ever faced before. He had dealt with fast-moving targets in the past, but this This was on another level entirely. It was as if the target itself existed in multiple places at once, its movements defying the laws of physics as he knew them. He closed his eyes for a moment, recalling Zeno's words.
Feel the shot, Usopp. Don't think, feel.
He took another deep breath, his grip tightening on Kabuto. It was time to trust his instincts, to let go of his doubts and embrace the impossible. The world around him seemed to slow down as Usopp focused his mind, tapping into the depths of his observation haki. He could sense the energy of the target, a faint vibration in the air, a whisper in the wind. It was faint, fleeting, but it was there. He began to perceive the target's movements, not with his eyes, but with his very being. It was as if he could feel the air being displaced as the target zipped through space, could sense the subtle shifts in energy that preceded its every move. He began to track the target's trajectory, not by following its physical form, but by anticipating its movements, by feeling the rhythm of its chaotic dance. It was like learning a new language, one spoken not with words, but with energy and instinct. His body moved with a newfound fluidity, his movements guided by something beyond conscious thought. He drew back Kabuto's sling, his aim adjusting with each subtle shift in the air, each whisper of the target's energy. He could feel the shot lining up, could sense the precise moment when the target's trajectory would intersect with his will. Time seemed to stand still as Usopp released the shot. The pellet flew from Kabuto, not with its usual speed, but with a strange, almost lazy arc, as if it carried the weight of a mountain behind it. But despite its seemingly sluggish pace, the pellet's trajectory was precise, calculated, guided by something more than just Usopp's conscious effort. It curved through the air, defying the laws of physics as it honed in on its target with unwavering accuracy.
A deafening crack echoed across the training grounds as the pellet found its mark, striking the glowing orb with pinpoint precision. The orb shattered into a million pieces, its energy dissipating into the air like a burst of fireworks.
Usopp lowered Kabuto, his chest heaving, his entire body trembling with exertion. He had done it. He had hit a target moving at impossible speeds, a feat that would have seemed ludicrous just hours earlier. But even as a wave of triumph washed over him, a glimmer of doubt crept into Usopp's mind.
Zeno, was that real, or was it just another one of your tricks?
Zeno, who had been watching with a proud smile, tilted his head, his eyes twinkling with amusement.
What do you think, Usopp? Do you believe you hit that target?
Usopp hesitated, his gaze drifting back to where the glowing orb had once been. A part of him, the part that clung to logic and reason, screamed that it was impossible, that he couldn't have possibly hit something moving that fast. But another part of him, a part that had been awakened in this strange and wonderful place, whispered something else entirely. It whispered of hidden potential, of untapped power, of a world where the impossible was merely a challenge waiting to be overcome.
Yeah, I believe I did.
A newfound determination settled upon Usopp, a steeliness replacing his usual nervous energy. The impossible shot, the shattering of the speeding target, had ignited a spark within him, a belief in his own potential that he had never fully embraced before. He had tasted the power of his observation haki, felt the thrill of pushing past his perceived limitations.
That's the spirit, Usopp. Now, are you ready for the next challenge?
The training ground shimmered once more, the bizarre obstacles rearranging themselves into new and even more daunting configurations. The air hummed with a palpable intensity, a challenge laid bare before the sniper of the Straw Hats. This was no longer just about hitting targets, this was about pushing himself further than he ever thought possible, about testing the very limits of his physical and mental fortitude.
Bring it on.
Usopp declared, his voice ringing with a newfound confidence. He hefted Kabuto, the familiar weight a source of comfort amidst the surreal landscape. This time he wasn't just aiming to survive, he was aiming to conquer. Section 2, Pushing Past Limits, the physical challenge. The challenges Zeno had prepared were grueling. It was about agility, speed, and sheer endurance.
Platforms crumbled beneath my feet, forcing me to think fast. Energy blasts tested my reflexes and observation haki.
He sprinted across narrow, winding paths. His heart pounded, but he pushed onward.
I had always thought of myself as the weakest link, but here I was discovering a strength I never knew.
Zeno watched with a critical eye, a mixture of amusement and approval. He had pushed Usopp hard, but he wasn't being cruel. He saw the potential within Usopp, knowing true strength came from embracing the struggle. Section 3, the mental maze facing his fears. As Usopp's body grew weary, the training took on a more psychological turn. The landscape dissolved once more, the vibrant colors and bizarre obstacles replaced by a shadowy labyrinth. The air grew heavy, thick with a sense of unease.
Whispers and strange noises echoed through the corridors, playing tricks on my mind, amplifying my deepest fears.
This was Zeno's true test, the one that struck at the core of Usopp's insecurities. It was easy to be brave when facing tangible threats, but true courage came from confronting the darkness within, from facing the doubts and fears that haunted his thoughts.
I found myself reliving my past failures, my moments of cowardice, the times I had let my friends down. The whispers taunted me, reminding me of my weaknesses, of the times I had given in to fear.
But even as the darkness threatened to consume him, a spark of defiance ignited within Usopp's heart. He had come too far, endured too much to let his fears control him any longer. He had faced down sea monsters, giants and tyrannical warlords, all with a slingshot and a healthy dose of bravado. He had stared death in the face and emerged, if not unscathed, then unbroken. Section 4. Zeno's wisdom, a warrior's heart. Fear is a powerful weapon, Usopp. Zeno's voice cut through the darkness, a beacon of calm amidst the swirling shadows.
It can paralyze you, control you, break you, but it can also be a source of strength, a catalyst for growth.
Usopp stumbled back, startled by Zeno's sudden appearance. He had almost forgotten the king of everything was still present, observing his every move.
What do you mean?
Fear is a natural response to danger, a survival instinct, Zeno explained, his voice patient, understanding. But it is how you face that fear, how you channel it, that defines you as a warrior.
He placed a hand on Usopp's shoulder, a reassuring gesture that sent a wave of warmth through the sniper's body.
You are not defined by your fears, Usopp. You are defined by your actions, by the choices you make when faced with those fears.
Zeno's words resonated deep within Usopp, sparking a newfound determination. He had always tried to mask his fears with humor and bravado, but Zeno was right. It wasn't about erasing fear, it was about confronting it, about harnessing its power and using it to fuel his resolve. As Usopp embraced his fear, a strange thing happened. The labyrinth, which had seemed like a suffocating prison, began to shift and change.
The shadows, they're retreating. I can see hidden pathways, the true nature of these illusions.
His observation, Haki, honed through countless trials, flared to life, allowing him to see beyond the surface, to perceive the energy that flowed through the labyrinth, revealing its secrets.
The whispers, the taunting voices, they're just echoes of my own insecurities, amplified by the strange magic of this place.
He saw that the pathways, which had seemed so confusing, so disorienting, were actually interconnected, a puzzle waiting to be solved. He navigated the labyrinth with newfound confidence, his steps lighter, his heart filled with a strange sense of exhilaration.
I can dodge these illusory traps, see through these deceptive illusions. I'm stronger than I've ever been.
He had faced his fears and emerged victorious, and in doing so he had unlocked a new level of awareness, a deeper understanding of his own capabilities. The world, he realized, was full of illusions, both internal and external. But with a clear mind and a strong heart, he could see through the deception, he could navigate the labyrinth and emerge into the light. The oppressive shadows of the labyrinth receded, crumbling away like dust motes in the wind. The ground beneath Usopp's feet solidified, transforming into smooth, polished stone that shimmered under a brilliant, all-encompassing light.
This is different. No more illusions, no more whispers. Just raw, unadulterated confrontation.
He found himself standing in the center of a vast, Colosseum-like arena, the air buzzing with an electric anticipation that sent shivers down his spine. High above, Zeno observed from a spectator's box seemingly woven from pure energy, his expression unreadable.
This is no longer a game, Usopp. This is your trial by fire, your crucible.
The playful mischief that usually danced in Zeno's eyes had been replaced by a solemn intensity, the weight of countless eons of wisdom bearing down on the lone figure in the arena. A low rumble shook the arena, the sound of ancient mechanisms grinding to life.
What is that?
From its depths, a wave of darkness emerged, swirling and coalescing into a multitude of shapes that sent a jolt of primal fear through Usopp's very core. It wasn't just the sheer number of figures that made Usopp's blood run cold, though each one seemed to pulse with an eerie, almost tangible energy. It was the chilling familiarity that sent a tremor down his spine.
These aren't just random constructs. They're echoes of my past, specters of my most harrowing battles.
There, at the forefront, stood Arlong, the fishman tyrant whose reign of terror had pushed Usopp to his very limits. His sharp teeth glinted menacingly in the artificial light, his muscular arms rippling with the promise of bone-crushing strength.
Arlong, and Perona, and Caesar Clown. They're all here.
Beside Arlong, Perona, the ghost princess, whose negative hollows had nearly broken his spirit, giggled with malicious glee, her hollow-eyed stare piercing through Usopp's facade of bravado. And then there was Caesar Clown, the deranged scientist whose poisonous creations had nearly spelled doom for the Straw Hats. His twisted grin sent shivers down Usopp's spine, a chilling reminder of the scientist's callous disregard for life itself.
This is a carefully curated gallery of my greatest fears, my most painful memories given tangible form.
Each figure a perfect replica of a fearsome foe Usopp had faced in his journey stood poised for battle, their eyes burning with a cold, calculating light. Instinct over intellect, a sniper's ballet.
But this time, something was different.
The fear was still there, but it no longer held him captive.
I wasn't the same cowardly sniper who had trembled before Arlong. I am Usopp, the sniper of the Straw Hats, and I will face this challenge head-on.
He moved with a fluidity he never knew he possessed, dodging and weaving through the onslaught. Kabuto, his trusty slingshot, became an extension of his will, hitting targets with pinpoint accuracy.
He didn't have time to think, to strategize. He relied on pure instinct, on honed reflexes and sharpened senses.
He transformed the arena into a macabre dance floor, a whirlwind of motion and chaos. A final desperate gambit. The arena, once teeming with enemies, fell silent save for the ragged gasps of Usopp's breath. He stood amidst a sea of dissipating energy, the remnants of his vanquished foes shimmering like fading stars.
I had fought with every ounce of strength, every trick I had up my sleeve, but one figure remained, standing defiant in the center of the arena.
It was a chilling sight, a perfect replica of Usopp, down to the last detail, from the worn bandana to the determined glint in his eye. This wasn't just another enemy, this was a reflection of his own doubts, his own insecurities given tangible form.
I anticipated this, knew that Zeno wouldn't let me off so easily. This final challenge wasn't about physical prowess or even tactical brilliance.
This was about confronting the last vestiges of his own self-doubt, the fear that whispered he wasn't good enough, strong enough, brave enough. He couldn't defeat this opponent with brute force. Every attack he launched was met with an identical counter, every feint anticipated, every strategy mirrored.
He was facing his own reflection, and in doing so he was forced to confront the uncomfortable truth. The only thing holding him back was himself.
A strange calm washed over Usopp, a sense of clarity cutting through the exhaustion. He lowered Kabuto, letting the slingshot dangle loosely in his hand. He had spent his life running from his fears, masking his insecurities with bravado.
But here in this arena of truth, I realized that true strength lay in accepting my weaknesses. I am Usopp, the sniper of the Straw Hats, a liar, a coward, and a loyal friend.
He looked at his doppelganger, no longer with fear, but with a newfound understanding. He saw his own flaws, but also his resilience and determination. The doppelganger smiled, then dissolved into 1,000 motes of light.
Well done, Usopp. You have faced your fears and emerged stronger.
The blinding light receded, the arena dissolving around them. Usopp found himself back on the deck of the Thousand Sunny. Zeno, shimmering with a faint glow, floated before him.
Remember, Usopp, true strength lies in your heart. Never stop believing in yourself.
And with a final wave, Zeno vanished, leaving Usopp standing on the deck, ready for new adventures. Bathed in the warm glow of the setting sun, a changed sniper ready to face whatever lay ahead. The familiar faces of his crewmates swam into focus, their expressions a mixture of relief, excitement, and a healthy dose of bewilderment.
Usopp, where were you? We were starting to think that weird glowing kid had kidnapped you.
Chopper, his furry brow furrowed with worry, rushed forward, his hooves clicking against the deck.
Are you all right, Usopp? You're not hurt, are you?
Luffy, his captain, his friend, simply grinned, his trademark straw hat tilted at a jaunty angle.
She. Usopp, you're back. What kind of crazy adventure did that little guy take you on?
Usopp couldn't help but smile. His heart warmed by their concern. He had been through an ordeal, a trial by fire that had pushed him to the very brink of his physical and mental limits, but he was home now, surrounded by the only family he had ever known.
It was something else.
Usopp admitted, struggling to find the words to describe the indescribable. How could he possibly explain the reality-bending training, the battles against his deepest fears, the encounter with a being who claimed to rule over everything? It sounded like the ramblings of a madman, the fantastical tales he usually spun to mask his fear. But as he looked into their eager faces, a mischievous glint sparked in Usopp's eye. He might not be able to fully explain what had transpired, but that didn't mean he couldn't have a little fun with it.
Well, it all started with this giant talking slingshot.
And so, Usopp launched into a tale that would have made even his most outrageous lies pale in comparison. He spoke of celestial trials, of battling mythical beasts, of unlocking the hidden secrets of the universe. He wove a tapestry of half-truths and outright fabrications, his words painting a picture that was both ludicrous and strangely compelling. His crewmates listened with rapt attention, their eyes wide with wonder. Luffy, ever the believer, hung on his every word, his imagination running wild. Zoro, ever skeptical, grunted occasionally, but even he couldn't completely hide his fascination. Sanji, ever the romantic, sighed dreamily, imagining himself as the hero of a similar tale. As Usopp's story reached its climax, the Thousand Sunny itself seemed to come alive, the ship creaking and groaning in response to his exaggerated descriptions. The masts swayed precariously as if buffeted by cosmic winds. The sails billowed outward, filled with an unseen energy. Even the Going Merry's figurehead, the cheerful sheep, seemed to crack a knowing smile. By the time Usopp finished his tale, the sun had set, casting the Thousand Sunny in an ethereal glow. The stars twinkled above, a silent audience to the incredible story that had unfolded on the deck below. The Straw Hats erupted in cheers, their spirits soaring with awe and inspiration. They had faced countless dangers, but Usopp's tale reminded them that anything was possible.
All right, let's find the One Piece.
The crew echoed his enthusiasm, their voices blending in joyful chaos. They had set sail with dreams bigger than the ocean itself, and now those dreams seemed closer than ever. Usopp, watching his crewmates celebrate, couldn't help but smile. And as the Thousand Sunny cut through the waves, he knew their greatest adventures were yet to come.